All right, welcome everyone. So today what I want to talk about is setting up to 3D print using the Bambu Studio software. So let's go ahead first of all, and we just Google Bambu software or Bambu Studio, and then we go software and app here. And then what we're looking for is the downloads right here. And if you have a PC or a Mac, this is what you're going to use. If you are, Bambu Handy app is also good for controlling your 3D prints from your cell phone here. But let's go ahead and download the Bambu Studio for Windows. Go to the downloads here, and we will install it. Okay, when prompted, we'll go next. I agree, and install to your file location. And once this is done, we can click on next here and close. Okay, and then we go ahead and go get started. And where are we? We're in North America. Next. Skip the program here. And then we're going to go ahead and select. I clear everything out because I don't want all of this stuff. Just make sure all clear, clear, clear. These are the profiles for all the different printers. But we are only going to need a 0.4 nozzle Bambu Lab P1S, which is what we're using. And then go ahead and hit next. And then again, all of the filament types here, I do not need. So I'm going to clear them all. And I'm going to go to, really the only one that I'm using right now is the PETG high frequency, but Bambu ABS might be another option that we might be using in other iterations. So I'm going to leave those two on there. And of course you can always add extras later on, but this just is PETG translucent. I also have some of that, which is great. And so I'm gonna hit next, and then we'll hit finish. And so this is gonna install the plugins. All right, everything is good. Now under prepare here, let's go to prepare. You can see up here at the top, we've got the correct printer. We've got Bambu ABS here, but I'm going to do my PETG high frequency. And those are the two main settings to make sure we're using the right filament. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in a model. Okay, let's bring in the lightsaber STL file here. All right. Cool. So I purposefully brought this one in because it is too big for my build plate. You can see by the darker green sections on either side that this isn't going to work. And then also if I R for rotate it, I can rotate it up 90 degrees. Whoops. Which way is it? 90. There you go. Or I should have done -90. But again, like even this direction, you can see that it's going the wrong way. And then I'm going to rotate it one more time. I'm going to go 0, enter, and then I'll do negative, right? There we go. Cool. So looking at it here, I always like to print things vertically. Actually, the layer lines look smoother going this direction. So the areas that are going to have like the a little bit more I don't know, anomalies with the layer lines and stuff will be kind of on these edges here, better there than like along the whole object here. So I like to print things a little bit more vertically. So yeah, looking at this object now, you can actually cut it up in the program, which is fantastic. So if I click on this and then you just hit C for cut or go to that command right there, and it kind of picks a place where it thinks you might want to cut it. And this looks all right, but I want to cut it right below. And the nice thing is it shows you the layer lines too, right where it's going to cut. So I don't want that kind of star looking pattern. I want to go right above that. So I'm going to go right about there. So just below this thing. All right. So once you get it, say perform cut, and boom, now we've got it sliced into 2 pieces. Another thing is sometimes when you get these models, they're not perfectly flat on the base. Actually, let me do this real quick. Before I cut it, I notice that it's not flat. So what I'm going to do is I want to make this lay with one face on a flat side. So I'm going to go ahead and go to lay on face, which is F. And you can see all of the little face options it gives you to lay it flat. I'm going to lay it on that one. So it just slightly flattened it out nicely. Cool. And then I'm going to go cut. So then I hit C, which is my quick key to cut. And I'm going to go down until right when I miss. There you go. Right when I lose that part right there. So where to cut it is always kind of an art as well. Perform cut. And then we've got our 2 objects on the build plate. And this still does have some overhangs, these areas right here, where we do need to make sure that we have support structure. So I'm going to go over here to support, and I'm going to enable support. Now, there are 2 different kinds of supports, normal supports, and then there are also tree supports. I like to use trees for a lot of things, and I feel like it does a really nice job with more organic, like character design objects. So this is the tree support one. And you can see it kind of builds out all of these structures. Right now it's giving me a warning because the branches of the trees that it calculated for this object are actually interfering with this object. You can see the green is overlapping with the orange there. If I go back over here to prepare, click out of it, click on this one, and just kind of move it over, reslice it, it'll get rid of that warning. Cool. So it looks good. This is a good clean model of this object, so it's not going to give you any other error messages. Sometimes it says there's non-manifold edges over here. You want to make sure you click on repair to fix those. It usually does a pretty good job of fixing them. So those are trees. Other types of supports here. Go back to prepare up here and go to normal and slice, and you can see this is the other kind. Of supports there. So you can kind of pick and choose which one you want to use. With something more geometric like this, I might use this kind of support. But you also can look at the run times on this. So it will print for about 5 hours and 45 minutes in normal, and then in tree, slice the plate. About the same. So yeah, perfect. And then we can go over if we wanted to, and we can change a couple of other things here. So if I go over to strength here, right now I can, if I look at it in preview, you can see the honeycomb pattern on the inside, how dense it is. It's pretty dense, perhaps too dense. So we can go over here and lower the infill density, maybe make it 10 instead. Slice the plate again, and it will make that grid structure a little bit more open and cut down on the time, about 45 minutes. So that's something else you can do. Things that have a flat top on them, I like to use a little bit more of an infill. So I would probably keep something like this because it has the flat tops. I'd probably keep this at about that same 15 to 12 here for the sparse infill. Okay. Once that's all done, if you do have a 3D printer hooked up Wi-Fi wise, you can simply go to print plate. I can find my printer here and send it. You have to, of course, connect, log into your account and stuff like that to do that using the Bambu Handy app for your iPhone. For the purposes of printing it in a lab or something like that, setting this up at home, we simply go up here and change this to export plate sliced file. Click on that, and then we save this file. I would name it whatever important, maybe even your name and the item to be printed. And this file, this G-code file, is what we will use to put it on a micro SD card. So The micro SD card that comes out of the Bambu is actually right here. This is the one that comes out of the Bambu. And then we go to the model folder here, and that's where we would save it. And I'm going to save this as lightsaber underscore and my last name or initials or whatever, and then save. And now that that is saved to the micro SD card, that can be taken out and put into the top of the Bambu printer, and then just go through the menu on the looking for the folder on the left-hand side of the menu, and you should find the very first one typically will be your most recent G code that has been added, and then hit enter and go ahead and execute to print with all of the settings set up the way we have here. So this is a brief explanation of how to set up a model for 3D printing using the Bambu Studio. Hopefully you found this enlightening. There's of course a ton more tools and stuff that we can play with here, but this is the basics for printing almost anything. So thank you very much. I'll see you on the next one.